Alright, hey guys, and welcome to another Numworks Crash Course Tutorial Series episode. Today, we're going to be taking a look at how to use the Python app on the Numworks Calculator. So we can go ahead and open up by selecting it and clicking Execute, and we will now see a list of all of the Python files on our calculator. By default, you should have these 3 Python files installed on your calculator. So if you click here, you'll be able to see the code that makes up the Python file. But if you want to run it, you're going to need to click the back button, and then go to the 3 dots here, click Execute, and then click Execute Script. As you can see, you also have other operations you can do here, such as renaming it Auto Import and Shell, which means that if you turn this off, it won't automatically import the functions that you have inside of the script. Or you can also delete the script if you don't want it anymore. So let's go ahead and execute it. As you can see, it automatically imported the functions inside of the script. So let's go ahead and call the factorial function. Unless you want to type in the entire factorial and then the parentheses, you can just click var, and then you will see a list of all of the functions inside your calculator. So we want to open the factorial function. If we tried to call one of these functions right now, it actually would not work because we haven't imported either of these files. So if we open this function, it will work because we have imported the factorial file, or Numworks has done it for us. So if we want to find the factorial of 6, we would type it in between the parentheses and click execute, and the answer is 720. Okay, let's try another one. Let's try Mandelbrot. So we can execute the script like so, and then we can click vars to open up the Mandelbrot function. And if you want to delete your previous commands, you can do it pretty much how you do it in the calculations app by doing shift and then clear. So if we want to find the Mandelbrot of 25, we can just type it in here and click execute, and we'll start drawing the Mandelbrot set of 25. Alright, that did take a while, but now we have the Mandelbrot of 25. So we can exit out of this by just clicking the back button, and then we can click the back button again to view all of our Python files. So finally, let's just do this polynomial program. Let's execute it, and let's call the function var polynomial, or in this case, roots. So we can find the roots of the equation, let's say negative 1 x squared, comma x, comma 2, by typing it in this way, because this is basically a quadratic solver, and then we can click execute, and the roots would be 2 and negative 1. So now that we have gone over all of the built-in scripts, let's go over how to build one of our own scripts. We can go to the bottom here, click add a script, and let's create a hello world program. So let's just type in hello here, and then just click enter. Now let's open up our program by clicking execute, and you can see by default it says from math import asterisk, so it's importing the entire math module by default. So to get to our commands, we can either type them out manually, or we can click this toolbox button here, and we can see all of the Python functions that you can use. So for example, if I want to use the print command, I would go to catalog, click alpha, and then p to get to the functions that start with p, and we can see print here. So now let's just type in hello world. So alpha, and then alpha again to lock it, quotation marks, hello space world. And here we go, we have our finished hello world program. So let's go ahead and run it by clicking back and then execute, and we can see the hello world up here. So that's the basics of using the Python app on the calculator. Now I'll go over how you can write Python files on your computer and send them over to your calculator. So the way the Numworks works is that instead of using some sort of software like TI Connect CE, it actually uses a website that communicates directly with the calculator. So to get there, we just need to go to workshop.numworks.com and hit enter. And from here, we can see information about our device. It should be here if you signed up for an account previously. If you haven't signed up for an account, make sure you do that. And as soon as you update your calculator, it should show up here under My Devices. The update process is pretty straightforward. It tells you exactly how to do it. But if we want to send Python files, just click on this Python tab up here. So most of the programs here are actually in French because the Numworks company is a French company. But as you can see, Chrome translated it all for me, so that's pretty helpful. You can take a look at some of the programs here, see if there's anything you're interested in. And all you have to do is click load to calculator. Let's say I want whatever this is. Load to calculator. It'll say your calculator is not plugged in because I forgot to plug mine in. So I'll go ahead and plug it in using the charging cable. Let's click set up my calculator. If you don't already have the driver installed, make sure you download it. I already installed the driver. If your calculator says the calculator is connected, which mine does, I will click the calculator is interacting, and then OK. And then we should be able to download these files to our calculator. So let's say I want to download whatever this file is, connix.py. All I have to do is click load to calculator, and then if we go up to our calculator here, it will show us all of the files on our calculator, and you can see that it has been sent to our calculator. Unfortunately, the Numworks doesn't have that much memory, so you may need to delete a few files if you run out. So we can just do that by clicking delete from calculator. Do you really want to delete? Yes? Okay. So if we click on the My Scripts tab up here, we can actually create our own Python scripts to send to the calculator. We can even publish them to the sort of app store that Numworks has set up, and we can set up our public profile up here. My login is Andres Sevilla. And then if we want to create a new script, we can create the Hello World program here again, but much simpler. So we can say Hello World. It's much easier to type on a computer than on a calculator. We can say enable other users to access the script, so it'll put it in the sort of app store they have. I'm not going to do that because I don't think anybody really wants to download this pretty useless program. Description says Hello World. Then we can type our text here. We just delete all this. Print Hello World. And that's it. We can even run it on a little emulator here, so we can say reload, and it will run the program in this Numworks emulator. We can save the program, and then we can load it onto our calculator. So that's pretty much it for Python on the Numworks calculator. It is pretty smooth and easy to use right now. I haven't run into a single problem whatsoever, even though it's a fairly small company. So I highly recommend checking it out, and I will see you in the next Numworks Crash Course Tutorial Series episode.